we gotta get that shit back jumping. I know T. Will got this situation, but life. You ready? All right, we gonna go in. All right. Shit, we back. We Need Answers podcast. Got my man Van in here. We still going through quarantine right now. As everybody know, a lot of protesting and everything going crazy around the world right now. There's a lot going on. So we just trying to keep the positive energy going, keep the show flowing. You know, we got a lot on the plate right now as far as the quarantine, the protests. The world 2020 is just super crazy right now. So we just going through it every day, every moment, and we just going to stay positive and keep everything working. But got my man Van here today. Like I said, Van, met Van through Terrence, my partner in EMI. Everybody know T. Will, my man. A few years ago, me and T. Will started a nonprofit, not official nonprofit. We had the idea to start a nonprofit from Terrence. I always worked in the nonprofit field. And I told Terrence that I had a dream of doing my own because I was working for people doing the same shit I could be doing myself. So, so Terrence is like, you know, I got an idea, and he pitched to me that he wanted to help people with physical disabilities get things and knowledge that they needed to succeed and not just give up on life. And when he pitched the idea to me, the first person he brought to mind was Van. And Van was just one of the quotes that I say every episode, and for like I love is we must teach what is taught. And we went to Van. Van gave us the game straight up and down. You know, a lot of people, I ain't gonna say a lot of people won't, but it's a good chance you got people that will help you, won't, and won't.
Man, I'm gonna say a lot of people won't.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
You know more than me.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
you know more than me. So a lot of people won't help you, and especially when you got a dream and it's going in the same path. But Van, we sat down with Van. Van gave us all of the blueprint. He told us everything. If we need any help, hit him. Been that way since day one, and he stayed consistent with it. We did our first event at Van's Safe Center, and he was gracious enough to let us do that free of charge, and he spoke at our event. So he definitely rolled the red carpet out for us and helped us so much. And between that time, that was about maybe 2017.
A couple years.
Yeah, and life came into play for me and Terrence for real. It kind of took us off track, but never letting that go. If y'all see any of the posts and stuff, I always tag it here and there just to keep people looking, regardless if it ain't got nothing to do with EMI. I just keep the name alive, because I will get back into it. We both will, me and Terrence. We gonna keep working, but Van got a hell of a story when I first met him, from what Terrence told me, and how he got the way he is now. He got a lot going on in the city for the youth, for adults, for everybody. Well-known name in the city. If you haven't heard, check him out. But he got a hell of a story that's motivational for real. And we just get into it. Tell us how you got started with everything you got going on.
Man, started West Baltimore.
Okay,
You know
West Baltimore.
West Baltimore, born and raised.
Okay.
And you know, like many people, wanted to be an athlete.
Right.
And I actually had a good shot at becoming an athlete, you know, as far as taking my games to the next level. Went to private schools. A lot of people may not know, but I actually went to my first private school was up in Sandtown.
Okay.
School's not there anymore. My family's from Sandtown, Park, so I grew up in that area.
Right.
And from there, I went out to Loyola and started playing football, basketball, lacrosse.
Okay.
But football was my thing.
Yeah.
And you know, fast forward through everything, starting to get looks from different colleges and all that. And I broke my neck playing football in a big game.
Okay.
And you know, initially paralyzed from the neck down. And going through that recovery and the benefit, that's how me and Terrence ended up linking up, because when he got, you know, his situation, his peoples reached out to me and was like, yo, I need you, you know, come holler at my cousin for me.
Okay.
And that's how we linked up.
Okay.
Yeah. And so just fast forward through all that, graduated from high school, graduated from college, and was sitting around trying to figure out what I was going to do with myself. And I thought I was going to start a PR business. You know, working with athletes, and teaching them the importance of having a backup plan, teaching them the importance of financial literacy, and how to, you know, manage that money.
Super important.
Yeah,
super important.
We hear too many of us going broke once we get it, and it's because we don't have the knowledge.
We don't know it,
right? And so another thing that stood out to me really was like, you know, in order for you to make money and keep money, you have to be knowledgeable about money.
Facts.
And a lot of us aren't there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I stayed with that for a little, but then I was like, you know what? I can help a lot more people than just athletes.
Facts.
And I ended up, doing more research and thinking about it more, and looked around, and in my neighborhood, was like, man, we need to do something for the kids, right? We need to do something for the kids, but we need to do something for sure, and we need to do something for free for the kids, right? Because there's other organizations, but at the time when I was starting, they were all charging.
Okay.
And so if you're looking at a parent with 4 or 5 kids, and
how they going for it?
Right. Do you pay for them to go to after school program, or do you pay to keep the house?
One or the other, yeah.
Right. And so for me, it was like, man, I had a bunch of resources, and it was a good opportunity for me. And man, it was so crazy about it. Right around the time that I was opening, the whole Freddie Gray situation happened.
Right.
So it was even more like, man, I definitely got to get this.
We need it.
Definitely got to get this up and running. And so many other people were popping up doing different things. And for me, it was like, man, I just had a gut feeling that a lot of that wasn't going to be around when the Freddie Gray situation kind of died off. A lot of people was opportunists.
Taking advantage of what was going on.
Taking advantage, right. And at the time, there was a lot of money coming to the city for nonprofits and the work that was being done. But I built a model that was going to be sustainable for forever. And man, I've been running with that ever since. Right.
That's crazy that time everything happened for a reason, because the fact that you just said it happened around Freddie Gray, and then this thing happened right now. So it's time repeating itself. It always happened like that. So how old were you when you had the injury?
I was 16.
Wow.
I was high school, my junior year, beginning of my junior year.
Okay.
And man, that was devastating.
Yeah, I could imagine.
It's one thing to say, you have potential to. It was one thing to have the dream of taking it to the next level. But when you're there, kind of on that cusp, it's like.
So you had the looks and all that, like.
They was there.
Okay.
They was there, and I mean that wasn't for me though. It wasn't my destiny. You know what I'm saying? I can't dwell on that.
Right at all. And it's the way it's played out for you now is amazing anyway. So it's part of your story, your testimony.
Yeah, it's the journey.
What position you played? Football?
Safety.
Okay. And in basketball, what was you playing?
Man, wherever they put me, I could jump out the gym.
For real?
So my handles was okay.
Okay.
But no, I had
good dunk,
stupid bounce.
Okay.
Okay. Throw it up.
Right. You just go get it.
I'm gonna go get it.
Okay. So so explain the process to how you went about making that decision on going from not going the PR route to working with the kids. How you decide?
Man.
Well, I know you said based off everything, but
but honestly, man, I didn't even decide it.
Oh, it came to you.
I woke up from a dream, and it was like, this is what it is. Like, this is what I need to be doing. And from that point, I moved forward with it.
Okay.
Ain't think twice about it. Ain't question it. Got
just
to work.
went for it.
Just got to work.
So would you still get into that, or that's a did like the PR thing, or
no? No. I definitely would. But honestly, I've been getting a pull on me lately to enter into consulting.
Okay.
Because what I'm saying is we have a lot of nonprofits in Maryland.
Yeah, for sure.
And we have I just sat on a panel called Visionaries of Colors, and the whole thing was talking about sustainability and how can we continue to provide for our communities, especially in times like this.
Okay.
Or in times when the money may not be there.
Right.
And so many of our so many of us don't have the education and the knowledge behind it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And it's no fault of theirs, because it's one of those things where if you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And going back to what you were saying as far as me sharing that knowledge with y'all, your parents, man, you'd be surprised how many of us will not. We'll have the knowledge, but will not share it.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, bro.
And it's not getting you
better than that.
Yeah, and it's not knocking you out. Whatever you doing is still gonna go on regardless. And it's gonna come back. Everybody know that when you do right, it's gonna come back to you anyway. So going through your experience in this realm, this nonprofit aspect and everything else, what's some things that you've seen that, because I know, like I said, I worked in nonprofit. My story quickly was like, I went to school, 07, I went to Eastern Shore, came home 2010 to go to UB because I was bullshitting out Eastern Shore. But when I came home, my idea, like you said, when you don't know, you just don't know. Sometimes experience the best teacher. And when I came home and I went to UB, like out Eastern Shore, I didn't even have a major. I was playing so much. When I came home, I take business marketing up at UB. And my idea was that once I go to college, get a degree, I can just apply anywhere and I get it.
Yeah.
Totally wrong. Everybody knows it's totally wrong.
Yeah.
So the way I got into working in nonprofits was my uncle had just came home maybe a year or two before that, and one of his buddies had a PRP, TBS type situation, and I started doing that. But and not to say this company was, but just working for so many and just seeing it, it's just crazy how many companies really is just about the money. Especially when you're dealing with kids and lives of adults and recovering addicts and things like that. And don't get me wrong, everybody, when you see how profitable it is, it's kind of hard to not focus on that. But when you working with, especially with the youth, when you got a livelihood at stake, it's kind of like, it's a slap in the face.
Yeah, for sure.
So my question to you is, and that's why, and before I go to you, that's why when Terrence came with that idea, I knew that was something like that's close to his heart because he living that.
Yeah,
So we knew it was going to be authentic. And I remember when we was talking, you was like, so how you basically in so many words, you was like, so how sure are you going to stick with this thing if you know? And that was real. It was kind of like, well, nigga, you ain't living this, so are you going to really roll with this once if he fall off or whatever? But it's real. Like, and that, for you asked me that just showed how real you are about the situation. And I just felt real. It hit home with me because I realized that the money scheme is like, imagine how many people falling through these cracks. So by you going through and being in this realm, all races and all that, just tell me, like, I just want to know what you've witnessed that kind of like kept you motivated to stay on the right path with this, as far as with the youth and all of that.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, it ain't about the money.
Right.
It ain't about the money.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't have to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's never been about the money. I'm a man of faith, so I believe definitely waking up from a dream with this on my mind, it was the purpose.
Yeah.
Right? It was my purpose. And what a lot of people don't know is, man, for the very longest, I was kind of out of my pocket with everything for the most part. And then once I got to the point where I didn't have to come with my pocket, I still wasn't even taking a check.
Yeah.
I was still doing it.
Right.
And then even present day, I'm still not the highest person, being paid on my staff.
Okay.
Like I'm at the bottom for real. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it's not about the money to me.
Right.
With the things that I've been doing as far as, I got the job and I was working in the governor's office as a director there for a year and a half. And I walked away from that. So if it was about the money, I'd have stayed there. You know what I'm saying? Like I was making a nice piece of change there.
Right.
I could have stayed there, but it ain't about that, man. It ain't about that. And so for me, when it ain't about the money, that don't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
But I do see so many people get caught up in that trap of, man, I can get this money, and they start focusing on the money. But then at the end of the day, for me, man, it's lives. It's lives we talking about.
Hell yeah.
It's lives we talking about, and there's too many conversations where people look at numbers.
Big
right?
time.
Like you'll look at a number, and I'm like, man, no, I'm not looking at a number. That's
looking at the lives.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, we not numbers.
Right.
And that's what keeps me there.
Yeah.
It's lives at stake.
Yeah, and then when you really, and I think for a lot of people that I witnessed, the ones that got the big companies and stuff like that, when you lose touch with the people you working with, it's like that's when it shifts. Cause like I'm working with kids, little boys that might have molested their sister, just not knowing, cause their head's so messed up, parents on drugs, all that type of stuff. And then you got kids, same kid, one of the first kids I got couldn't even do basic math in 8th grade. He didn't know how to write cursive, couldn't add, multiply, none of that. And it's like, it's when you get in them positions where you can help people and you thinking like, well, you got to get these notes in because such and such happened. It's like, no, I'm trying to help this kid for real. Forget them notes. I'll do them notes later, stuff like that. And that's why it's just tough. Well, I mean, that's the world period we live in. That's you gonna always come across that. But I just witnessed it as well, and I know you've been around like tons of people in those situations.
Yeah.
But talk about your safe center. How did you end up getting into that or coming up with that idea?
Yeah. So again, it was around the same time with the whole the Freddie Gray situation. And I had went into the middle school across from the safe center, and we did a thing called Their Voices Matter. And so we pretty much asked them what they would want in the after school program. And so happened a friend of mine had wrote me a big check and was like, man, take care of yourself with this, do what you want to do. But for me, it was like, man, I need to do do something positive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay. And a building came for sale, so I just went in and copped that.
Okay.
And the reason why I really wanted to get that operational was because, again, going back to the whole sustainability thing, right? And going back to ownership. I'm big in ownership.
Yeah.
I'm big in having, I like owning everything,
Right.
because nobody can take it away from me.
Yeah,
nobody can dictate to me what I can and can't do with it, or what can happen inside of it.
Right.
And when I was working, inside of the school running the program, we had to be in at a certain time, we had to be out at a certain time. We couldn't have access to certain parts of the building. And I'm not in the mood to go through all that every time. I mean, I dealt with it in the beginning because that's just what I had to do.
Right.
That was a part of the journey. But when I was in a position to do my own thing, it was like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and cop up, do my own thing.
Do it my way.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if the money dry up, as long as I got the building, as long as I
Good.
have my equipment, I'm good.
Yeah.
My kids can still come. My
Right.
kids can still have access to the things that they need to have access to.
Okay.
And that's where I think a lot of us fail at. A lot of the nonprofits kind of go under because we don't own anything.
Yeah.
And we chase those dollars.
Right.
And it can be tough. Somebody, once you change your whole program for 5-10 grand, it's like,
Yeah.
nah.
But it's mine.
Yeah.
I do what I want. That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. Yeah.
Sure.
So what's offered through SAFE, and how can like, is it open to anybody to just come? Or?
Yeah, so middle school students. Our thing is teaching the importance of having an education and a backup plan for life.
Okay.
And so what we do is we do hands-on programming that's big on teaching them how the concepts they learn in the classroom applies to the real world.
Okay.
And then we also give them experience into potential career paths that they can go into.
That's what's
And
up.
so like an example would be math and woodshop, right? So kids are learning math, they're learning fractions, they're learning decimals. Those same things, those concepts they're learning in the classroom transfers into
Real life.
construction. Right?
Okay.
So construction, woodshop. So
Right.
when we go in the woodshop and say, all right, we about to make this project, they gotta know how to do the math. They gotta know how to do the measurements, because if it doesn't work out, if the math is off,
Right.
then the project is not gonna turn out how it needs to
Right.
be. And so that's able to connect the dot for a lot of our students, where it's like, okay, this is why this is important. This is why I need to learn this, and this is how I can apply it. But then also it gives them insight into the construction career path.
Okay.
And so all of our programs are designed like that.
Yeah.
Again, middle school students can come from anywhere.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Just be willing to learn.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what's up.
Willing to learn.
That's what's up. So that's basically they getting the knowledge that they should be getting in school for real.
Man, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, what I say is I try to bring as many of my private school resources and private school education as much as possible.
Yeah, to the ones that can't afford it.
Because I mean, we fall behind so much.
Right.
We fall behind. A crazy thing, right? Private schools were doing robotics, and city schools weren't. Once city schools started to really jump on the robotics things, private schools moved to cybersecurity.
Okay.
So it's like we're always behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
So we need to, we're always
Yeah,
trying
right
to catch
there.
up.
Yeah.
So how can I bring what they're doing? Like, come on, we gotta get our kids, because we put our kids on the even playing field. We gonna outwork anybody.
Exactly. Because we got the hunger.
Yeah,
we got
for sure.
the hunger.
For sure.
Tell me, what do you being as because you went to public school too, right? At some point.
No.
Not your whole life.
Always went to private school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Good education. Because my question was gonna be, what did you? Well, I guess from seeing it, witnessing other people go through it,
Yeah.
even as you coming up in age.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference you think in besides that? Well, I know the education, we know that. What's the biggest difference you've seen in like public and private?
Resources.
Okay.
Resources and that network.
Yeah.
Network is crazy.
Who you around in them schools?
The network is crazy, because a lot of times the mentality is different.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? When you're in a private school, you're surrounded by a lot of kids that's growing up in households where families are business owners.
Yeah.
Doctors,
all that.
Like they doing all kinds of stuff. But not only just doctors that own their own practice.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's one thing that I own my own practice, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just different.
Right.
It's different. It's a different mindset.
Sound like a fairy tale to us.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh. And so I was blessed to have the best of both worlds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the city, lived in the city all my life.
That's a fact.
But then also, going
good
to
education.
private schools, that's definitely the biggest difference. The resources and the networks.
Hell yeah. One of my things, my father, I always say this about my father, he had a good plan, he just didn't execute it right. Like, he was very big on, he always say like, cause one of his best friends Glenn, he passed away. He was always say to him like, "Why you raising like we do what we do, but so our kids won't grow up like us.
Yeah.
We want to provide better for them." He was like, if I can, no matter how much I gotta spend, I'm gonna make sure my kids live in good areas, go to good schools. And then he always told me like, I want you to go to school with these Jews and lock in with them and do all that. Right plan, but if I'm not witnessing this, or if I'm not with them when I go to school with them, but when I'm outside, I'm with all my cousins and me outside. When I'm up there with them, it's a disconnect. Especially if we not locking in. Like, of course, I was cool with everybody always in school, but I didn't identify with them, so it was hard for me to connect the way he wanted me to. Because, like you said, he was thinking of network, get with them, one of them love me. Come on to their family sometimes, invite me to birthday parties and shit, but it wasn't a connect. So I think like you saying, it was a benefit for you to go through that, so now you know how to deal with different cultures, different people, and then you know how to adapt to certain. That's a perfect roadmap actually, because you know how to adapt, like you said, to both. You got your hood, then you got the people in school. You know how to act. Cause I can imagine in high school, middle school, you take your homeboys from around the way. Let's go to a game of Gilman or something. They gonna be acting their ass up there. It always been that way with me when I take my homeboys and we'd go to a game out of county or something. They the ones jumping out the car, holler at the brothers and all that stuff like that. But I'm glad you said that because it's important, and I think for people to know we can do it. I think a lot of people feel like that they feel like it ain't possible. We can't adapt to that, but it's necessary.
Oh, it's definitely necessary.
Can't excel without it, for real.
Definitely, man. It's like I didn't identify when I was there. Like I was there from 6 through 12.
Okay.
My entire middle school, and I had teachers that tell me, man, I was a handful because I didn't want to be there. I was one or two blacks.
Okay.
In the middle school.
Right.
And so the cultural difference.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? The cultural shock, having to learn and. Bro, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying?
You don't at that age, you don't get it. Like, you ain't trying to hear that.
But I'll be honest with you, it wasn't until I graduated.
High school.
I graduated high school when it was like, damn, I see why they was making these sacrifices.
Yeah.
Like, I see, because if it was my way, man,
you would have went there. Yeah.
Send me to a city school. Where where all my homeboys at, and that's what it is. But my parents had other plans, and I definitely thank them all the time for making me stay there because it worked out. And I think that's what we need to do as parents. I mean, I don't have kids, but as parents or mentors in that generation, raising kids, we need to guide them.
To that. Because it'll pay off in the future.
Yeah, it's definitely going to pay off in the future. And that's what we need to do.
Right, for sure. What was like going through your situation, how many times did you hit the pitfalls of just like, maybe if you ever gave up or if you felt like fuck all this type of situation, when you, because of your situation?
It happened. I mean, of course, early on it was depression. I ain't want to deal with it. Over the years, it got better. And every once in a while, I fall into like a kind of why me type situation. But then I gotta look around and look at what I was afforded. As a result of it. It sounds crazy, right? For somebody to say, you're in a wheelchair, but what good is that, right? But I'm a believer in that there's positive things in all negative situations, and there's opportunities in all negative situations.
I agree. And
for me, it was always, do I want to be in this wheelchair? If somebody said, look, well, we give you a magic potion, you got that shit tomorrow, man, sign me up, right? But that ain't happening.
Right.
And so I got to make the best out of the situation. You got to adapt. You got to adapt.
Fact.
And so that's all I did, just adapt to it. And like I said, it ain't easy. I still have my moments. I mean, we just came up 100 steps. We just came up 100 steps, man. It could have been a lot easier if I could just ran up the joints, right? But you got to do what you got to do.
100%. That's a positive way to look at it. And it's easier said than done. And it's even when you telling somebody some stuff like that, like, anybody go through their situation, but the mind is powerful though. And then I know you know that from you can realize how powerful your mind is once you switch that thing. And it's hard to switch sometimes, but when you do, it's the world can change for real.
Bro, listen, they say the mind is a muscle. Once you educate that joint, you start working that joint, you get stronger. Keep growing.
100%. So I always ask the guests, like, because all of us travel always, and I know you go out of town, you dealing with a whole bunch of different cultures. when you go out of town, I know the first thing they always say is Baltimore like the Wire. What do you, is that what you get the most when you go deal with these people out of?
Yeah.
And how do you feel when you get that question though?
I mean, it's a people just don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's we're dealing with this across the world, and not just people saying about Baltimore is like the Wire. That's what they see on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's what they see on TV, and so it's just people just don't understand.
Right.
They just don't understand. And, I mean, they've never been here, and I tell them like any place you go, there's good and bad.
Hell yeah. That's a
There's
fact.
good and bad. There's some accurate things about the Wire, and there's some not so accurate.
Fairy tales. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember, it is a TV show.
Exactly.
It's meant to sell.
Exactly. And I asked that too because I know, and I spoke about this on another episode. I worked with somebody that had I had a conversation with him when I used to work in PG, and the dude was like, he knew I was from Baltimore, but I didn't know he was, and he was like, I don't really like telling people I'm from Baltimore because I feel like I get judged when I tell them that, and it's like, like my thing is, I love where I'm from. Of course, we all
Baltimore.
Yeah.
We Baltimore.
All day long. And I hate that it make people feel that way. There was a girl that I used to be involved with. She would always say Maryland versus Baltimore, and I would hate when she do that. And I was like, nah, like you gotta stand. Like people gonna respect you more. They might judge you. They gonna respect it, but it says a lot for them to have that judgment, and then you in the place where you are. Because that's saying a ton. So you gotta live that and roll with that. So I want to know your thoughts on that. And I also want to know what part of just the city of Baltimore is on your I do this for list. Because like I told you before we started, my thing about this, everything we do, all my topics, all my guests, is all about Baltimore. For one, I'm not shit on this show without my guests, but I really want to put. Cause we really at the forefront of everything, but we really not. Everybody love us from a distance.
Yeah.
This city, but once they get us all up and all of us, then they gonna really love. We gonna blow up regardless of what we into. So tell me your thoughts on that.
So one, man, I shout Baltimore everywhere I go.
Okay. I like that.
Might have my Ravens hat on. Might have my Orioles hat on.
I love that.
Wherever I go, I'm taking a piece of Baltimore.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, the reactions are different when people find out you're from Baltimore.
Okay.
Depending on where you at.
Okay.
Some places be like, man, they from Baltimore. Oh,
yeah.
And more so want man, they can deal with anything.
Sure.
Crazy thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Down in Myrtle Beach one day, and talking to some people. And I'm like, man, wherever I go, I always want to see the hood. Mm-hmm. Everywhere I go.
Okay.
I'm trying to ride through the hood.
Yeah,
see the hood.
See what it look like.
What it look like.
We always compare our hoods to bar. Yeah.
So I'm like, where the hood at? Right?
Yeah.
And the dude like, nah, you don't want to go down there. And I'm like, nah,
I want
to know where it's at.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see that joint. Tell me where it's at.
Yeah.
He like, nah. So as we talking, he like, where you from? I say Baltimore, man. Dude, straight give me that dress. This where you can go at. This where you
so
go
he know
at.
you can handle that. Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. We get that, but then we also get the whole, is it like the Wire?
Yeah.
We can have that conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it really depends on the person's perspective on things.
True.
But I shout Baltimore everywhere I go.
Okay.
And then, we're part of Baltimore. I mean, I'm a West Baltimore boy.
Yeah.
Like I said, my family born and raised in Sandtown in Holland Park.
Okay.
I had family down in Murphy Homes.
Right.
So,
I feel like everybody got somebody in Murphy Homes somewhere. Yeah.
So I spent a lot of my childhood down in my aunt's houses.
Okay.
Down there, and I mean, as I got older, I started hooping really. Hooped up Maccabees, hooped up Cloverdale.
Okay.
And so.
Oh, you was getting it in on the hooping thing.
I definitely hooped. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So what's some of your favorite moments and events that took place that you conducted or been a part of while you
favorite moments or events? Oh man, that's a good question.
Or most memorable, whichever one, or all of the above, however you want.
But I done participated in a lot of stuff.
I know. That's why I'm at.
So,
yeah.
Man. Honestly, I think anything that's, cause like I said, I didn't been in so much stuff. I think anything that's bringing positivity and shining a good light on just what we have in the city.
Okay.
Like what's going on, because I travel a lot, and there is Baltimore get a bad rep.
Yeah.
Baltimore you got 300 plus murders, and you got
all the time.
And it's like, bruh, but that ain't all Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's only what they showing you.
We got a lot more to offer.
We got a whole lot more to offer, like a whole lot.
Yeah.
And so anything that's shedding, some light, some positivity on what's happening. And I've been a part of a lot of those. So yeah.
So how was it like working in the mayor's office?
Governor's office.
Governor's office.
It was cool.
It was cool.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Okay. What's one of your plans for the city of Baltimore and for your well, I say the city of Baltimore. What's your plan? What's your plans for the city?
Man, I'm about to open up I'm working on opening up a workforce development center.
Okay. We need that.
One of the things that I did realize in working with the governor was that, during my travels across the entire state, a lot of people were talking about jobs. And then when you come to the city, come to my neighborhood, people hit me up, jobs. But then in my business, settings and networks, in the construction industry, people talking about, they can't find employees. Okay. And so for me, it's a disconnect. There's a group of people looking for jobs. So
all the time.
All the time. And so for me, that's the next thing. We're gonna open up Workforce Development Center. Already bought the buildings. Okay. So I bought 3 buildings already.
That's what's up.
And
congratulations.
Appreciate it.
All
and
right.
plan on. Man, if COVID ain't hit, my goal was to have it open in September. I'm still pushing to have at least the first level open by the end of the year. Okay. Looking at, I gotta raise some more money. Right. And do that kind of stuff. But workforce development definitely coming soon.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So what's your I would say maybe whenever you dealt with somebody that's like maybe coming to you for advice and you see like the potential in it, or you see that they fall off with it, what's some motivational things that you could tell somebody that wants to get into what they doing, like similar to you, but they fall off and get it? Like for instance, like I said with us, the personal stuff that came in with us, but besides that, I kind of I got distracted by one of the things was financial stuff in my way at that point in time, and it ain't had nothing to do with that. I really could have kept going, but it took so much hold on me that I kind of lost focus of that. So what do you say to people that maybe came to you or had ideas to do stuff, but they just, they lose sight of it or they fall back of it, and it might be something that really could change somebody's life for real?
Yeah, man, I'm a straight shooter. And like a lot of my friends will tell me, like, we don't come to you for your advice until we already got this idea baked. Because it's not me being negative, it's not me picking holes in whatever the idea is. I'm just trying to make sure you're ready for what's coming. Like you said earlier, I'm a straight, like, what's gonna happen with this? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I want people to be ready for to come, because the last thing, for those organizations that are established, it look easy, right? Like it may look like the Safe Center, what we do is easy, right? And it's not. It's plenty of nights I'm up. You know what I'm saying? The struggles is very real. Right. But if they got a passion and desire, man, my thing is you just gotta push forward with it. It's gonna be obstacles, but it's obstacles in everything. Right. You just gotta push through.
What's one of your biggest obstacles you faced during this whole process? Any of it?
One of my biggest obstacles. I mean, money is always one thing. As far as diversifying where my money coming from. Okay. There's a thing called donor burnout. People get tired of donating after some time. Sure. That's understandable. Yeah. Or grants, don't always come through. So trying to figure out how to diversify the funding is an obstacle. Man, it sounds crazy, but man, we know Baltimore is so cliquish. Man, if you ain't in the cliques, it's hard to get the support. Yeah, in that right crowd. Yeah, man, it's like, bruh, like, come on. Yeah. Like we gotta link. Like, I mean, if I was out here trying to get into something negative,
it'd be easy to get into.
A ton of people to sign up with that one, but it's like, bruh, come on, why I gotta pull teeth to get you to come out and I think, I mean,
is that far as like us or like people that's in power?
Us.
Okay.
Us.
Yeah.
I can handle people power.
Okay. And that's crazy that it's easy for you to do with them, but then it's harder for
man, the people in power is a game. How can you add value?
Okay.
As long as you're adding value,
Okay.
you're good. Right? That's
Yeah.
And I'm saying it. I'm making it sound simple.
Yeah.
Right? I'm making it sound real.
But in
simple.
all reality, is.
But I mean, that's just life.
Yeah.
That's just life. Nobody
If I
wants
can
to
help
be
you,
around
you
who
help
can
me
constantly
type.
just keep pulling from you. But
Right.
if I can add value to you, then you know, it's that's that. But it's us.
So would you feel like we don't do it as much because we ain't getting nothing from it type of thing, or we don't see it?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't see the vision. Sometimes people just want the credit for it.
Yeah. That's tough.
If you're not in that clip, it ain't cool to. You know, there's a whole bunch of things.
If they ain't realized that have been the move that have really helped the click the most. Like,
I've been trying to tell people.
Yeah, they don't see it because we get so blinded by. It's amazing, man. We get blinded by all wrong stuff, and it don't even be what they think it is.
Man,
that Instagram, that all that
is all. A lot of things are done by design.
Yeah.
It's designed for us not to see certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
True.
designed for that.
True.
But we gotta see that. My biggest thing, and one of the things that I've learned is, some people don't care who does the work as long as the work is done.
Yeah.
We care about who doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We care about who doing it. Like we complain, or ask for these things, but if the right person don't provide it, we ain't gonna take
They don't
advantage of
care.
it. We ain't gonna utilize it.
Yeah, they gonna find some excuse.
And that's one of the issues that we run across a lot.
So what you think we need to do to get that? You don't know, or
When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
right?
I've been trying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been trying. Like I say, if I want to do something negative, I can get 100 people to show up for that.
So what about I'm gonna pitch an idea. What about collaborating with the people that you feel like had a popularity with us the most, like the clothing lines, the party people, and all that? Has that ever been a try?
Bro, they gotta want to do it.
True.
They gotta want to do it.
But if they don't know about it, then
they gotta want to do it.
True. You right. So, and I'm saying this because if we do have somebody that witnesses that don't know, they might not know, Van. They might not know what you bring to the table. All right, okay.
Call me.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So putting it out there for anybody, because we had a few entrepreneur episodes, and I think. And like you say, I wouldn't even co-sign nothing if I don't think they're gonna be legit with it either. Because like I say, I'm on the same path even when I work or do my own shit. I'm serious about the future. Like even with that, and I was very serious about what me and I still am about what me and Terrence did because like the thing was creating awareness about because Terrence was basically like how many people don't know that we can drive. Yeah. And I was like, I can imagine. I never thought of it, and I know 1 million people probably never thought of it either. But they should know though, because it can happen to anybody at any moment. Nobody is subject to say that I can't be in a chair or I can't have this injury where I can't use my feet, my arms, whatever. And it's good to have that knowledge and have that awareness. So I think the more awareness that we create about what you got, anybody else got for the right reasons, and put it out there, cause
we have to.
Yeah.
Man, if we want things to change, some things we gotta do it ourselves.
How is it? And we should want to at this point.
We gotta. I mean, it's some things like especially like when we talk about systemic issues, and I ain't really gonna dive too much into that.
Okay.
But when we talk about systemic issues, we definitely need our counterparts to help and do their part with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it comes to the things that's happening every day in our neighborhoods, we can control that.
Yeah, for sure.
We can control that.
And we should want to.
We can control that, and we can,
Because if they come and try to control it, it ain't going to look like for us. It ain't going to look like it's for us at all.
No.
At all.
So, I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, I try to reach out to any and everybody, bro.
Right.
Like for me, I don't, pride aside.
Yeah.
Pride aside. If I like your work and I think you're doing good work, I don't have a problem with reaching out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'll work with anybody as long as our missions align. Let's get it done.
Who's some people you collaborated with?
Well, right now Honestly, right now, the biggest thing I've been doing is we run a Together We Can campaign.
Okay.
And so what happens with that is every Monday through Thursday, we run free virtual programming via Zoom. And so it's ranged from Spanish to art. You know Solar Spring, Wendell? You know Wendell?
Yeah. You got the dreads, or
No,
that's
he got braids. He got braids.
Okay, I think I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Man, if you don't check his artwork out, Solar Spring. But he came. We worked together. He ran a 3-week art program for us.
Oh, that's what's up.
But on Thursdays, man, we do a lot of different workouts with professional athletes.
Yeah, I seen you posting this,
which is cool. Last week we had Torrey Smith and his wife.
Okay.
Week before that we had Renee Montgomery, WNBA player from down in Atlanta.
Okay.
So that's something that trying to just work together with that to bring light to what we're doing. In the city. So
okay.
Yeah, those are the most recent ones that we've been doing.
So how has the quarantine changed things up for you though? Or with that, or with you period? Like has it changed a lot of stuff, stopped a lot of stuff? Interacting with the kids?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Okay.
Interacting with the kids as far as having a face-to-face, face-to-face time, the quarantine definitely, killed that.
Yeah.
We try to interact with them, via Zoom or calls as much as possible, but I mean, that's starting to get a little difficult, especially with the weather changing, man.
Yeah, hard to keep
like,
still now.
I ain't standing in the house.
Right.
I'm getting up out of here.
Right.
Yeah.
What's one of your, have you, like, is it any, I mean, you ain't gotta be specific on names and stuff, but is there any stories out of any of your kids, like you seen the transition through the whole process type of thing? Yeah.
Nah, man, crazy story. I had one student, we went out to Loyola, and he get out the car, I want to go to college here. And I'm like, nah, man, you can't go to college here. And he's like, why not? He tells me to do whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, this ain't a college. It's a middle of high school. Right. He believe me. But make a long story short, man, he was determined to go to a private school. And we made a deal. He bring me straight eighth grade year. I'm gonna do what
to get him in there.
To get him into whatever school you want. And he at a private school right now, doing very well. He's about to be a senior, rising senior.
Okay, that's what's up.
I mean, he's averaged over a 4.0 his entire high school career.
That's what's up.
And so
that's amazing.
But when I backtrack and say what I said earlier, as far as give us an even playing field,
we gonna excel.
Yeah.
And he from your area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right up the street.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Like literally 2 blocks away.
That's what's up. Like, that's a success story.
He getting it in. Ain't looking back, but he getting it in.
Right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Do you see that, like, witnessing them every day, and in your dealings, do you witness them like pull other kids in, like you should do this type of thing?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes, which is crazy. Sometimes they like, nah, I don't want my friends to come because
it is distracting.
It might distract them or whatever the case may be. So
that's kind of tough though. It's tough for you, I know.
No, it's tough, right? Yeah. But it's also one of those things where, and I'm going deep with it right now.
Okay.
It's also one of those things where I think we've been so accustomed to not wanting people to come onto something good while we got it.
Yeah.
It's like they doing it subconsciously, not even really understanding what they're doing.
Like, that's a fact.
No, I don't want to come here, and it's like, but it's a good thing for everybody. It's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
So you don't have to feel like that.
Right.
And again, they're not doing it sitting around just saying like, no, I don't want them to come here and take something.
It's not intentional.
It's not intentional. Yeah. But I think it's something that we've been just so accustomed, and maybe I just call it survival.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like we always in survival mode where it's like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and sit at this chair. Like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I went deep there.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how I be thinking sometimes. How can we break that cycle? How can we break that that subconscious mentality that's happening right there?
And that's a tough. I was as you said, I was trying to think how could you get around that because it's hard. Because like in reality, it is a distraction sometimes too. You can say you might want best for your man to come with you. I mean, like you'll really benefit from this, but he ain't on that level yet. He ain't gonna get it.
But it could be one of those things too. He may not be on that level yet, but he may not have been exposed to it.
That's a
fact. It's like we going to the county and going to the basketball games, and people jumping out hollering at the girls and doing this and the third. They first time going.
Right.
But the next time they come, they might be like, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
approach them
change my
different.
approach.
Yeah. True, that's true.
But it's that experience that they got that they realize, like,
yeah.
oh, I got to switch it up a little bit. And so, I mean.
So your thing is to encourage that. So do they, like, you see it or they bring it to you like a thing like as well as though I want or I don't want my own boys to come?
No,
or do you just, okay.
We ask them, we be like, you know, bring some of your friends.
Yeah.
Some of them like, yeah, I got you. We're going to bring some of my friends. Some of them be like, nah, they gonna come and throw the vibe off on
Yeah.
We ain't rocking with them. We don't want them in here.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Depends.
Yeah, true. I know that's a tough thing right there, but hopefully everybody, especially at a young age, you don't really know that. You don't really realize what you're doing. What's any plans for the? Do you work within the school system in the city at all? Not at all. Okay, strictly your thing.
I mean, I work. So I will say we got a new principal at the school, Franklin Square Elementary Middle.
Okay.
And you know he's been
doing his thing.
Yeah, he been rocking with us.
Okay.
And so I'm excited about that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely excited to see how we can build that relationship.
Yeah.
And do more inside of the school. Like right now, we still just do everything outside. But how can we do more inside of the school?
Right.
To help them. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to figuring that out.
I am too, cause I know that the schools all the schools stuff different now. Anyway, from when we was coming up, a whole ton is very different from back then. But it's very important because I just feel like now that. Like, if you look at back in the day, way back in the day, it was a lot of people dropping out, a lot of people skipping schools, but now it's like more so people going. Like, I got one of my little mans, he been getting locked up a lot, and he just came home and he was able to graduate.
Oh,
so it's like some when I was surprised, I was happy to hear that because it's like you just don't know where people's minds be at. Some of them be like, forget school, and some of them really be like, well, I'm gonna do this part and get that out of there. So. It's very important for the school. But what I remember when we was at the center, y'all did like was it a boating or a fishing trip with the kids at one point?
Man, probably I don't know, but we always
a lot of stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, our big thing, especially in the summertime, is killing me that we can't run our traditional summer camp. Mm-hmm. But our summer thing is exposure as much as possible.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
super
even
important.
With our 6-week summer camp. We try to travel out the city every day.
Okay.
And it's just to give our students a different perspective and allow them to experience different areas
stuff.
and different things. You know, going on a boat, whether we fishing or we going on a boat doing sailing, learn how to sail. You know, we try to do as much different stuff as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you seen any catch on or something that was like changed them? Like,
oh yeah, for sure. We had one of our students. We sailing. We went sailing, and then he ended up. When he graduated from the program, he ended up working there. I think it might have been 2 or 3 summers. Okay. Yeah, he stuck with it.
That's what's up.
Definitely wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But he stuck with it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's different things like that we see.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. What's some of your what's your biggest motivation? Your biggest or motivator? Let's say who was the person that motivated you the most to do this or anything? Was it anybody that?
Man, I'm pretty self-motivated.
Okay.
I'm pretty self-motivated. Yeah. I can't. I mean, I have so many people that push me. But I'm one of them. You watch the Jordan documentary?
Oh yeah.
How he used to just make up stuff to motivate himself.
Nigga made lies that motivate.
Like I find myself doing something like that every once in a while. Okay. You know, I was just going through a little situation where I was, wasn't really too motivated to do too much. And literally, I was picking up small projects that was going to get me back in a groove.
Okay.
I need to go all in. And then once, I use those to motivate me to get back to where I'm at with the foundation. But I pick up motivation from everywhere. Yeah. But a lot of it, honestly, lately has been just seeing what our communities are going through.
Yeah.
Whether it be, what happened with George and police, or when the COVID and stuff hit, and when the private schools were back up and running doing virtual classes, and the city schools wasn't. It's like we got that's a motivation for me. I need to push more and try to help our kids.
Right.
They are leaders, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So what type of future we gonna have? I want to have a good future when I'm old.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And they
have kids.
Yeah, for sure. And they got a lot of advantages that we didn't, and it's gonna happen with them too. The kids after them gonna have a lot of advantages that they didn't have as well. So we gotta maximize that for them. What's your thoughts on the situation with George? Because with social media, it's crazy because you get so many different responses. Like it's people looking at the wrong stuff. Then you got celebrities saying the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Then you got the looting, the burning stuff down, and all that type of stuff. So what's your? I kind of honestly I stay away from speaking out on social media because people misinterpret a lot of stuff, and then it's just if you ain't gonna say the right thing, it's best not to say nothing at all. But it's very important at this point in time. Like you said, we witnessed it with Freddie Gray. Yeah. So it hit home again. So what's your thoughts and feelings on everything?
Man, I just wrote a blog about it the other day. Pretty much, and I'm just gonna summarize the blog. It was pretty much giving my experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like being working in the governor's office and going to private schools and having the best of both worlds and all those different types of things. But at the end of the day, I'm still a black man. Yeah. I'm still a black man. And no matter how much success I achieve, no matter what rooms I'm in, I'm always reminded that I'm a black man. Yeah. I'm always reminded of that.
Can't forget.
Police brutality. I didn't have my fair share of run-ins with police. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that me getting pulled over in the city, and there's a 50-50 chance that I may not make it out of that situation. Yeah. That's a problem. Yeah. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like that's straight up a problem. Yeah. And I outlined some incidents that I had with police where I almost got locked up because dude said I got shot. I'm like, why you gotta assume that I got shot? Got into an argument and you ain't like what I was saying or what people were saying. And so it's just different things like that. But it's difficult being a black man in America. And I think I saw something, and I don't know exactly how it was said, but it was pretty much, the things that the world is seeing have been happening forever. Day in and day out, these things are happening. Just now it's being caught on camera.
Yeah, even with the corona. You see them pictures from back in the day? They even there's some pictures from like 1930 or something. It was a disease going around, and people had masks on and all that. It's crazy. Time just keep repeating itself, yo. Exactly for real. What's some instances about? I know that you like being as well as though you was on both sides. Yeah. What was some instances like coming up with your friends where you try to stay on the right path? Have you ever had anything where just like, come on, I got these ideas for us that it was kind of hard to get them to break out of that shell?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when I was starting a nonprofit, I hit a couple people up and was like, bruh, I'm out of this the venture I'm about to go on, what's up? Oh man, we good. Oh, like
these is close friends and all that.
We getting $2 we are. Yeah. And I'm like, bruh, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? But everybody has their own journey. True. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock nobody. I can't condemn nobody. I'm not better than nobody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
What's for them is for them.
What's for them is for them. Yeah. I'm going to support them however I can support them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So, no, I ain't.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Well, and you spoke about being in rooms with a variety of people. Yeah. Was it tough in the beginning, or were you a little nervous? Was you ever a little nervous with what you had going on being in these crowds with different people? Or was it like you was already like, I know what I'm doing, so I'm here?
No, it was in the beginning. I mean, it varies. Okay. It varies, right? Because sometimes when you're in those rooms, especially for me, I was a lot of times the only black person in the room. Only black person in the room. And I mean, I got stories for days about how conversations went. But I just don't like that when certain people are in those positions, and I touched on this in the blog as well. When certain people are in those positions, they have to be very careful with how they present themselves. True. Because other people in those rooms may see them as the voice for the race. Yeah,
that's a fact. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
So it's always like you got to be, cross your T's, dot your I's, and it's like.
And we outnumbered because we could say the same about them, but it's more them than us.
Man,
So one bad apple might represent all of us. So
it's draining.
Yeah.
It's draining.
I ain't never think of that. That's tough.
You know, people working corporate jobs, and we dealing with Freddie Gray, and we dealing with George and those traumas, but we expect them to show up to work with a smile on our face every day, like something like ain't nothing wrong.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
Right.
It's draining. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And
it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough in so many ways.
Yeah.
What's your do you get into politics at all, or you don't want you stay? Me too.
You know what's crazy, right? Because people be like, man, you worked in the governor's office.
Yeah.
Like you worked in the governor's office. You worked, you know, for you was a director for a Republican governor. And it's like, man, I just want to help people.
Yeah.
I just want to help. I don't care if you black, white, yellow, green, Republican, Democrat.
Just people.
Right. If you got a plan that help people.
Yeah.
And I'm on board with the plan. Let's do work.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that I'm blind to race.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to help people and you genuine about it, let's get to work.
Can't lose. You can't lose. Yeah, you might as well.
But yeah, I stay away from.
I do. I'm not in that world at all. But even when it comes to discussing it, I stay away. But I only ask because I know within this nonprofit world and everything, just what's going on. Period. That's a part of it. So, what do you feel like? So for the people that have ideas that don't put it into works, though, when they get discouraged about, because a lot of times you don't even need money. People think you need more money than you really need to get the plan working. What do you feel like? The politics of the field discourages people from trying to get involved in it or helping out, period. Not necessarily the government and stuff. Like, okay, so in other words, do you feel like we have enough resources due to government and the policies that we can really do what we want to do versus people thinking that we don't?
Well, I depend on the government.
True.
I don't receive city or state funding.
A lot of people think they need that though, right?
I don't receive city or state funding.
Okay. So many words, just do it.
You don't have to, educate yourself.
True.
Educate. You know how I got started. I woke up from that dream saying start a nonprofit. Didn't have an idea of how to start a nonprofit.
Okay.
I Googled it. Googled everything, how to start, literally.
And they tell you right there, for real.
If you Google checklists on how to start a nonprofit in Maryland,
it's right there.
Pop up.
That's what you gave us when we came.
It's gonna pop up.
With
the links and everything.
Yeah.
That's how I started.
Yeah, that's
and
a fact.
And then as I got into it, I read the books and I
Okay.
read the articles and I see who's doing what and I reach out to those people.
Right.
I get mentors and I talk to people and as I'm doing these things, I'm educating myself and I'm learning.
Okay.
And then you go all in, but you have to be dedicated to education, to
Yeah.
educate yourself.
Yeah.
And that's just with anything.
True. That's a fact.
Educate yourself.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I did. So we don't need the city or the state to get up
Just
and
do
help
it.
us get started. Let's just do it.
Do you feel like a lot of people are willing to mentor them?
A lot of people,
For real?
you gotta ask them.
Right. True.
You gotta ask them, and if they have the time to do it,
Nine times they do it.
then they'll do it. But
Okay. I'm glad, and I'm asking that for me and for other people too, because I feel like people get discouraged from what they don't see. Like and it's a fact that you are. A lot of people fall victim to product of your environment, but then it's also a fact that the energy of who you're around kind of reflects off you too. So if you're around a bunch of doubters, if you're around a bunch of people that draw up plans but never execute, versus being around somebody like you with a team, like a team of people that do it or got the support to do it, that energy gonna reflect in your work for sure.
For sure.
So and I think we definitely get, like you said, being from here, being black, people ain't really trying to ask nobody for nothing. But you need the mentors though.
You definitely need some mentors, man. Because they give you, and you need mentors because they give you different perspectives on things. Right? I have 4 mentors, and they help me in different parts of my life.
Okay.
Because they give you that different perspective on things.
Right.
I even have he's not a mentor, but I actually have a couple of people like this, where I run a lot of my ideas by them because I know they're gonna pick it apart.
Okay.
And they're gonna pick it up.
And that's what you need.
In the beginning, it was tough.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, why every time I talk to
They
these
breaking
people,
it down.
they killing me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, they killing me. And it's like, you can't have yes men in your corner.
No.
You need people.
They ain't gonna serve
like,
you no good.
No good. So you need those people that's gonna be like, nah, I don't like this.
Yeah.
But why don't you like it?
Right.
Instead of being upset that they said they don't like it, like, all right, so why don't you like it? Like, help me work through this.
Yeah.
And so I have people that pick everything apart,
Yeah.
and I have people that's like, all right, this is how you know, I think you can navigate.
Okay.
And then I have to choose.
Yeah.
I have to choose,
Yeah.
and I have to, you know, use that knowledge that they're giving me, and figure out a way to, you know, move forward.
How did you find the mentors?
Some of them, honestly, I admire the work that they do.
Okay.
And I just built a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then me building that relationship and getting to know them, and understanding, you know, who they are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, of course, I already admire the work that they do.
Mm-hmm.
I just asked them,
Right.
like, you know, this is. But at that point, we got to know each other.
Okay.
And so now it's like, all right, well, you know, would you be willing to mentor me?
Right.
You know, let's grab dinner, let's grab lunch or breakfast once a
Chop
month
it
for
up.
an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm struggling with. Here's what I'm working with. Can you help me? You know,
Yeah.
work through these things. So yeah, I mean, finding a mentor is important, but it takes time.
Right.
You definitely take the time to find one.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you gotta be willing to take criticism.
For sure.
Yeah, you can't
Don't get a mentor if you don't want to hear the truth.
That's what they there for.
That's what
A
they're there
good
for.
mentor, for real.
That's what, you know, I had one mentor tell me, he said, when I'm done with you, can't nobody say anything to you that's gonna hurt your feelings.
Okay. That's what you need.
So you already knew he was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, he was coming. Oh, he bring it.
Right.
It's been plenty of times where I've been wanting to be like, man, I'm done. Like, can we end this meeting?
You had to eat that.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
But then when I get, you know, when I sit back, I'm like, he was right.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's wisdom.
Yeah.
My last question: How do people get, for the people who are discouraged or don't know how do they get in the mix with the people that could help them? Like, I know, like you said, we coming from different backgrounds and we might feel intimidated or whatever. What's your advice for people to get into the mix and to put themselves, to be able to find mentors and people that can help?
Yeah, you have to surround yourself or put yourself in environments within the work that you know you're doing.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to think how I can explain that a different way.
Networking events and stuff like that.
Yeah, networking. Now, I'm a master networker.
Okay.
I like it. That's one of my strengths.
Okay.
But it's simple. It's one of those things where it's like, let's just say athlete for an example. If I wanted to be in the athlete scene, the athlete arena, I need to start going to events where those types of people hang out or are. Going to places where those types of people are hanging out. While I'm there, talking about what I'm working on, what my ideas are, what my dreams and goals are. Talking about all those things, and just get to meeting people in that area.
Right.
And then eventually, once you start to meet people in that area, you form relationships, and then things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen. So you got to put yourself in
the right places.
in those places. But at the same time, man, you got to put your pride aside sometimes.
True.
You got to put your pride aside because we so. I don't know. I ain't going to spark
big time.
I ain't hopping on your bandwagon.
That's our biggest problem.
Why are you trying to better yourself as being considered as you being a group? You hop on the bandwagon. Like, I'm just trying to. They got knowledge,
right?
And I'm trying to learn it.
I need it. Yeah, you gotta swallow that for a minute. Even if you don't think you're gonna holler at them again, you're gonna get something out of that.
You're gonna get something out of it.
Yeah.
And you just got. It's all about perspective.
100%. So in closing, definitely the motivational episode. Like, get all the information as you can. As Van said, reach out to him if you're serious. If you're not, just keep working on it and grow and do what you gotta do to build that thing up. Whatever it is, even if it ain't in this realm that we talking about, it's just motivation to do what you gotta do and put it out there. Cause I tell the kids I was working with, and I tell people all the time, like, I ain't gonna be, whether you do it or not, you do it and fail. It's best to do it and fail versus when you're 60, 70 years old saying, I wish I would. And just go for it. Like, it ain't gonna hurt to go for it. If you fail, you fail. Lesson learned out of that. But if you don't, you ain't get nothing out of that.
Yeah, that's the key thing you just said, a lesson learned.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, there's a lesson to be learned in everything Everything. Everything. There's a lesson that we learn and everything. That's the tuition you had to pay for the lesson.
Yeah.
You know, that L.
Right.
So,
right. And sometimes they don't even cost you that much.
Yeah.
But it's worth it though. It's worth it. It's
sure.
worth it. But like you can let the people know where to find you at, how to check out the blog, where the blog at, the page, all that.
Yeah, so the website for the foundation is safealternative.org.
Okay.
My blog is vanbrooks.com.
Okay.
And then on social media, it's the Foundation Safe Alternative on Instagram. Same on Safe Alternative Foundation for Education on Facebook. Okay. And then the same for me, Van Brooks.
Van Brooks.
Yeah, okay. Van Brooks. I'm easy to find.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you find me, you can find all the information on my foundation.
Right. Yeah. So if y'all looking for if y'all trying to get the kids right as y'all should, please take them down to the center.
Yeah.
What's the address on the center?
1501 West Lexington.
Okay, cool.
So we're in Franklin Square.
Right.
Right across from Franklin Square Elementary Middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And with that being said, everybody stay safe in this time right now, man. Keep the prayers going and all that, but just try to stay safe in these times right now. And in closing, we Need Answers podcast. We out.